Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is a new version of what's on my iPad for the year 2020, as well as a part of a new series that I'm doing, all things student teacher. Now that I finished my program, I decided that I want to go back and tweak some things and let you guys know about some of the apps that I absolutely loved using in my teacher program and other apps that I don't really care for, as well as some more information if you haven't checked out my channel about the accessories that I've used. So if you want to know about my iPad and some of the stuff that I've been using, then stay tuned. Okay, so here we have my iPad, and I bought this. This is the 2018 iPad, pretty standard. It's not the Air or the Pro or anything like that. I believe they just call it the 2018. And here I have the Apple Pencil. The Apple Pencil is the one that comes from the Apple Store. I do know that they have like dupes and stuff like that, but this is the original. It is quite pricey, but I definitely recommend it for using it with the iPad because it's something that I use every day. Even now that I finished my program, I still end up using it and I love it. So let's get into the actual iPad and what I use. The storage is 128 gigabytes, and it does come with the case that I bought from Amazon. The case is pretty beat up, but it does what it's supposed to do, and it keeps the iPad safe. Okay, so because I do have some lights and that are being reflected on the screen, I decided to put the iPad in landscape mode, and then I'm going to talk about some of my favorite apps that I absolutely love using while in my teaching program. The first app that I'm going to recommend is Notability. To write your notes, have everything set up on the side here, organized nice for you, as well as being able to label your notes. You have the date there as to when you took it, the time, and everything like that. So this was just some notes that I took on advanced reading in one of my language and literacy courses. And as you can see, I end up handwriting all my notes. Now, a lot of people say that if you handwrite your notes, you're able to remember it more. And I do believe that to be true, hence why I ended up writing my notes throughout my 2 years in school. And that way I was able to quickly draw things, take notes a lot faster. And go back to it. This is a app that is only for Apple users. So if you do not have a MacBook or an iPad, then you won't be able to get this app. But because I do have this, my laptop is a Windows laptop, but because I do have this iPad, I can always go into it and open these things up again. So yeah, and it works perfectly well with the Apple Pencil. As you can see here, you're able to erase, highlight. I definitely recommend this app. I don't believe it was free, but I don't quite remember how much I did pay for it. But if you're going to be in school, I do recommend this app. I think it's a beautiful app. It works seamlessly. It's quick. You're able to send your notes to your friends if you have to. You can always email it to yourself by using those buttons over there, as well as keep everything nice and tidied. And then there I have a lot of the courses that I had taken. So definitely I would recommend Notability. The second app that I highly recommend is Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is, again, also on your laptop, which I do have it, but I did find myself using it once or twice. Actually, no, a few times actually when in class. There were times when I didn't have paper on me and my teacher would just be like, quickly answer this question and give it to me. I'm someone that does not carry paper. Everything was electronic for my teaching duration. So what I would do is quickly just type this up on Microsoft Word and email it to her. It works seamlessly. It's a great app. It's also free. I believe I did not pay for it, so it works just fine. So I definitely recommend getting Microsoft Word as well. The third app I really want to recommend is Google Keep. I'm actually not going to open it up because all my notes are in there, like my personal notes. So Google Keep is a great app that allows you to store anything across all platforms, take notes. We also ended up using it in my classroom where the students would take pictures, as well as I would document a lot of their progress. So I definitely recommend using Google Keep. If you are not familiar with Google Keep, then I do suggest that you check it out online and see how educators are using it. But it's a great app, and it can be used for personal reasons or for in the classroom. So definitely grab that. OneNote is an app that I used within my undergrad, and I also recommend it. So within my undergrad, what I did, I always used to type my notes to keep things over time. So I have literally all 4 years on here. As you can see, this was from, I don't know, a week from one of my research methods class. I have no idea. I don't remember anything from that class, but I have all my notes here. If you are someone that does not want to handwrite your notes with the Apple Pencil, then I do suggest getting OneNote and typing out your notes on here. That way you can have it for the future. The only downside with Notability is that I have to have a MacBook if I do want to open it up on a computer, and because I don't have one, I'm not able to. But you could always email the notes that you take to yourself with OneNote and able to just open things up anywhere. I do also believe that you can write with OneNote. I don't think I've tried, but I think there is a way. I'm just not quite sure, or I never tested it out, but I do believe there is a way that you can use the pencil and write stuff down with OneNote. The other app I would really like to recommend is Google Classroom. I'm not going to open it up either because I do believe that I still have some things from my student teaching days in there. Google Classroom, if you're a teacher, you know all about Google Classroom and what it does. It's a great way to communicate with students over time. I do believe a lot of you guys know about it because we are in the times of distant learning. So Google Classroom, definitely recommend that. Lastly, what I would like to recommend is the whole Google Suite actually, because things like Drive, Docs, even Google Photos I use on a daily basis. It's nice, and OneDrive as well. It's nice having the ability to open things up on all different platforms. So I would definitely suggest getting the whole Google Suite. A lot of them are scattered throughout my my iPads, but there are some here. So I have the main ones like Docs, which I use a lot in a lot of group projects, OneDrive, which I use daily, and Drive as well. Okay, so I want to switch over to some of the classroom apps that I've been using and that I know that the students really love. One of them is ARTECK. ARTECK is a reading tool that has many books that kids can read. I believe, I'm not sure if it's leveled. I don't want to say it is because I'm not entirely sure, but there's a big variety of books that are on there, and ARTECK, and they're able to go in there and watch videos as well, and they can click on books and read it. I think they even have some books that are audio, so they can listen to things as well. And my kids really enjoyed that when I was in the 3rd grade, so I would definitely considering that. Kahoot is also a favorite. I feel like everyone knows Kahoot. You basically you answer questions. It makes things fun and engaging for them, so I would definitely get Kahoot. iExcel is a paid program, but you do get 10 free questions a day. So if you want to do something really fun in the morning, like a quick morning meeting with some math questions in there, then just pull up iExcel on your computer and you can put it up on your smartboard and they can answer the 10 questions as a class. Go Noodle is a moving app where students are able to move around and follow a dance, kind of like Just Dance, but more kid related. So I definitely suggest trying out Go Noodle. The last two I really want to point out is Newsela and Flipgrid. Newsela is an app that provides news and everything. So children are able to read, what's the word for it? Publications and stuff like that. And then they're able to answer questions, stuff like that. So if you're really into social studies, then I definitely suggest taking out Newsela. It's also really good for busy work. So if you have a supply teacher in on one day and you need the kids to do something, you can have them read a news article, and then there are questions provided that lets them answer it. So I definitely suggest News Ella. The last one is Flipgrid. So Flipgrid is an app that allows students to engage with each other through video. I don't have it logged in here, but basically what the kids do, they video themselves and then they send it in, and then the child can watch each other's videos in the class. It's totally safe. I believe it's locked by teachers, so only the teachers that have the password to get into Flipgrid can access the videos that are in there. Flipgrid is something that I actually used in my teaching program, so teachers had us use it and watch each other's answers. So I guess it's for any age really. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is some of the accessories that I bought alongside the iPad. So the first thing was this 10-inch sleeve for it, and I've had it for 2 years and it's held up. I actually bought this from Dollarama, so honestly you can get a sleeve from anywhere. Just make sure that inside is nice and cushiony and you're good to go. Alongside the Apple Pencil, I also bought this keyboard, and this was how I was able to actually type a lot of the things when I was not home on my laptop. And I bought this from Amazon, and this is a great Bluetooth. It's a great Bluetooth keyboard, and it's super lightweight. As you can see, it's from the brand of ARTECK. And what you do is you just shift that thing on, and it actually has a backlit keyboard here where you can actually see there it's pink. You can actually see different colors. You can also change the color, which is really nice. So a lot of the time when I was on my iPad, I would just have it here, and I would have this here, and I would just type up whatever I had to really quickly. And it served me all these years, and I don't see this breaking down anytime soon. So if you are going to be having an iPad with you while in your teacher's college, I do suggest getting a Bluetooth keyboard. That way it's kind of like having a mini laptop with you. I do know that Apple came out with their own version of a keyboard and like mouse pad this year. I don't know too much about it, but I doubt it's gonna work on this. So if you are interested in getting like a cheaper alternative to the 2020 iPad, I definitely suggest getting the 2018 and grabbing one of these, and then also just grabbing one of these to keep it safe. The nice thing about this as well is it does have a pouch right there, and then in here I always keep a few pens and some flare pens on me, of course. And there is another pocket here, but I don't really use this pocket too much. And then it does zip close perfectly like that. And then when I'm ready to go, I do keep the keyboard in there, the iPad in there, and the pencil in there. So literally everything goes in here, and it packs up nicely. And I'll actually show you guys what everything looks like when it's packed up. And this is my laptop, and this has been my go-to laptop for the last 2 years. And the great thing about the iPad is that even when I'm at placement and I'm in meetings, I whip this out with my pencil, and teachers are always amazed. They're like, oh my gosh, what is that? How much was it? Is it good? And I tell them that I loved it. I love it because honestly, I'm able to do everything on it in that moment. And then a lot of teachers you see with like notepads and pens and pencils, but this thing is like an all-in-one. So I definitely suggest getting something like this.